Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of NC17 with Crazy J. I'm your host, Crazy J. Today, we are going to review the movie Her Name Was Krista. Stars James Edwards, James L. Edwards, Cheyenne Day, and Drew Fortier. So, James Edwards in this movie, he plays a character who's a telemarketer, and he's trying to find love, and he just at first he doesn't know how to go about it. So then he takes the advice of one of his coworkers, who's played by Drew Fortier, to go out and find a woman that he can, a lady friend that he can, pretty much do the girlfriend experience with. And upon taking that advice, he goes out. He finds the perfect girl. Her name was Krista. I mean, just the name of the movie alone. They make a deal, and things go as planned for the deal. They start out dating and like doing boyfriend girlfriend stuff, and it eventually evolves into a true love story. This is a tragic love story with a splash of horror. I mean, their first interaction was outside of a restaurant. Then they went into the restaurant and had dinner, and then they made their deals and stuff like that. And they do that for a while, and then eventually he gets to a point to where he's trying to tell her that they can't see each other and stuff like that. And well, she fesses up to him that she quit being what she was, and she started working at the restaurant they actually met at. And through the course of the first half of the movie, she fell in love with him, and he already loved her. And throughout the first half of the movie, he kind of talks to his coworker, and his coworker, kind of keeps giving him the same advice. Continue seeing this lady and stuff like that. And you know, when they finally realize that they love each other and they want to be together, you know, they're happy. They're so happy. But then tragic strikes, and she dies. And then yeah, that's where it comes in. Is it psychosis, or is it like daydreaming? Or she's dead, like plain and simple. She's dead, and he continues to have intimacy with her. And that's how much he really loved her. He really loved her. He wanted to be with her. And so in his head, even though he knew she was dead, in his head she was still alive. And Cheyenne Day does a phenomenal job in this movie. Like, this was her breakout role, and she did really great. I mean, like, really good. And I was thoroughly impressed from an actress that I virtually didn't even know until I saw this movie. She's her acting was good. Everybody's acting in this movie was good. But here's the thing about this movie. So James Edwards' character, he kind of, from what I gather, he kind of was a little bit out there from the first conversation he had with his coworker, because at some point throughout the movie you find out some stuff about the coworker that's kind of like, well, was it all true or was it all not? I don't want to give away too much, but I will say that the movie was good. It's a definite tragic love story with a splash of horror. They do have times in there to where the horror aspect is not what you would expect. It's not like, someone getting slashed and cut and stuff like that. The horror aspect was something completely different. It's more of a psychological horror, or a, well, yeah, psychological horror. And then toward the end of the movie, you know, you can't help but get emotionally involved in this movie because the characters are just too real, you know. And the thing is when you have a movie and a character, you can relate to characters, or people can relate to any of the characters. That's a great movie. I always rate my movies 1 to 10, and I'm actually going to give this movie a 10. The first time I watched it, I gave it a 9. I'll be 100% clear. I gave it a 9, but I'm actually giving it a 10 because after watching it a couple more times, I saw the hurt and the love and the affection that he had for this woman. And I mean, that's what we all want, is we want love. So truth of the matter is how far would you go for love? And they always wanted to be together, and in his head they were always together. And then at the end of the movie, something happens. I don't want to give away too much, but something happens, and they do make it to where there is a happy ending to this tragic love story. But it's a happy ending from the viewpoint of the characters and certain individuals. You know, I would say that at the end of the day, you really, really want to have that kind of love story in real life, just not without the tragic. Everyone wants to find their true soulmate. This man found his true soulmate. This woman found her true soulmate. And they had a happy ending in the movie. You actually can watch this movie on both Amazon Prime or Tubi, or you can order it. And I mean, there's a bunch of sites you can order it from. But I would say definitely check it out. It's a 10 out of 10, and the it's got the love for the romantics, it's got the tragic for the heartbreaking people, and it's got the horror for the horror people. This tackles three different genres of movie that most movies don't tackle. So I definitely say give it a watch. You can check it out on Tubi or Amazon Prime. And I actually did an interview with James Edwards, which I am going to be posting on here very soon. And we kind of talked about this in one of his other movies, which I'm going to be reviewing at a later date. But definitely watch the movie. It's a great movie. 10 out of 10. My opinion. Everyone else might have a different opinion. But if you've already seen it, please leave a message down below. I'd like to know what you thought of it. If you haven't seen it, check it out and then let me know what you think. But definitely, please give it a watch and support James Edwards and Drew Fortier and Cheyenne Day and everything they do, because they're phenomenal talents. They're phenomenal people. All right, everybody, stay in C17. Until next time, later.